Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Terry from Holding Your Space. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today.
Oh, I love it. I love being here. Thank you for inviting me, Val.
Man, I just love talking to you. This
Oh,
um this is such a powerful energy, and it's the winter solstice. Now it doesn't happen. I imagine with me shamanic journeys. Wow, pretty cool name.
yeah.
Hi,
That's Brenda.
Brenda.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't. I put the time up on the winter solstice. We all know it's always on the 21st of December, but the time is the important thing because it's just a moment in time. And then, boom, we go into the longest night. We wake up to the sun coming in a little bit more for a longer period of time each day. Hi, Teresa. And it is considered the winter solstice is a time of death and rebirth. And this is when all life on Mother Earth uh, is renewed. It marks a moment in time when the old sun dies. I really like this part. At dusk on the 21st of December, but that's why I put the time in, because that time's important. And when the sun of the new year is born at dawn on the 22nd of December, the longest night of the year, the birth of the new sun is thought to revive the Earth's aura in mystical ways, giving a new lease on life to spirits and souls. I thought
That's
that
so
was
beautiful.
cool. I thought that was so cool because it does feel like that. Once the light, the light's ramping up, it's coming in a little bit more and more every day, and that dark part from fall equinox till now, what have we integrated? And that's the important part. Because integrating all the wisdom that a lot of us here get, because everybody's so connected, to me, it's like, wow, we have, I don't know, we're just, our spiritual community to me is just the biggest blessing and has have how each of us get and receive information to bring us all through it is just phenomenal. Now you every morning, Terry, do the meditations for us with us. And
Hmm.
you just come out, I just love it. There's no plan, you just do it. How do you do that? I need help speaking. Hi, Karen.
Oh, well, um, first off, it's so not me. It's my guides and them connecting with your guides. And I used to make a plan, and when I would make a plan, it wouldn't work because they'd show me something entirely different.
Mm,
And so it's the connection of the planets, the connection of light, the collection of light beings
okay.
is the most important thing. But yeah, it just plops right out there, and
It, it,
I'm going
you
more on a limb every day, I think.
I love it because it's beautiful. And there's always a time where something I'm in the meditation with you, and the other day this happened, and this was right about a day before the galactic center, which is the 27 degree of Sagittarius. Just to help clarify, we're on 29 today. And then at 10:27 tonight we go to 0 Capricorn. So
Wow.
this to me seemed like a really powerful. The way what I was feeling was very powerful. I was getting as you're going through the meditations during the week. I woke up before ready just to come on. You started. I think that was an early day, and I'm seeing this liquid diamond light coming into our cerebral spinal fluid. And this is how they're explaining it to me, that it's going to upgrade our DNA. This is very powerful. And I don't know what you said, but it resonated with what I got that morning. And I was so excited because I knew that we were going to be together today. We had a live scheduled, but it's
Yeah.
just the way the teams work.
Well, it is always when one or more gather. So I mean, we can do this alone at home, which is another beautiful thing, or you can do it definitely when you come into the group, even later in day, because there's no time or space, right? But it's just that our group has gotten so close that and everybody new that comes in too adds something new to it. But
Right.
that we go deep really fast,
Yeah.
and we're able to get to more every time. But
Mhm.
yeah, that that liquid diamond light now, because we've been working with the diamond light for at least a year.
Right.
Diamond Sutra, instant awakening,
Right.
and as that and it's a blue diamond, so which is beautiful because it really coexists with the blue light.
Hmm.
But as that comes in, um, it does upgrade everything about us. It upgrades our light bodies, our mental bodies, and our physical bodies. Entertainment only.
It really does. And if y'all look behind Terry, I mean, the light is vivid blue right behind you where the wind is coming in.
I
I,
have no idea how that happens.
I don't either because it's so cool. And it just makes, it, as spirit comes in, and we get these drips and we get this guidance and this information. And yes, let's talk about this. The thing they were saying to me was once the sun goes by. I'm not going to get into the astrology. We're really just talking about winter solstice today. That's a time to go in. And the summer solstice on the other hemisphere is the time to shine, right? To come out. But over here, we're going in, and I'm not trying to discount anyone that's on the other side of the world, but it's important. Like I'm getting this is so important to go in to really connect to release, and I know Diane and I say this a lot, release what doesn't serve you. Do some sort of thing, for the new moon, full moon. But that uh, delivery, I want to say it was a delivery of information 2 days ago, packets of information through. I mean, we're still conjunct the galactic center if we want to get technical. I wouldn't take it out of orb for a couple more days, so this is just constantly just coming in this higher consciousness information, just coming through the galactic center, through the space anomalies into uh, our solar system, down into our Mother Earth, down into us and all life on her. And then I think it was the same time a few days ago, we had an X class 2 solar flare.
Yeah, man. We've been getting slammed.
We
Um,
have.
what what I keep hearing from my guides is that so many of us here are already in the fifth dimension, either
Yeah.
in meditation. We're moving in and out, and we have been, and probably the sixth when you're meditating.
Mhm.
Um, but as this happens, sometimes there's fear of the unknown, right? So part of this, the way that everybody's traveling, is that we're already used to it, and we're kind of the way showers.
Mhm.
We're the ones that come in first and find the way, and then and kind of light the path for everybody.
Mhm.
But then there's no fear because fifth dimension is something really beautiful that's coming to us,
Mhm.
and I think there's fear mongering sometimes among other channels, on YouTube or different people, but there is nothing to fear. It's the golden age that we're
Right.
coming into, diamond age.
I love that you said that because that's in the astrology. The last age was the age of Leo. This is the age of Aquarius. Now, as the old age is dying, the Piscean age, right?
Yeah.
And we're restructuring how it is. What kind of society do we want to live in this golden age, in this spiritually based, um, harmonious, loving energy? It certainly isn't what we've just spent 12,000 years kind of enslaved under. I'm just going to say it for what it is. So
Yeah.
here, you're right. There's like a huge amount of us at the forerunners, the what was the word you used? I'm sorry.
The way showers.
Way showers.
And that's not my word. They
I know.
brought that in.
But I mean, and that's where we're going. And to just constantly take, when these upgrades and downloads and that happen seemingly every moment or quite often come in, and we take that time to integrate them,
Yeah.
take that information in.
It's huge.
It's huge, and it's ramping up though. And the thing is, at the end of this year, 2023, where we're at, so we're at the 21st of December going to the 1st of January. This is that time period to really feel through, get your bearings on what it is you really want to focus on. That's a big thing I'm getting to. Focus. Where you place your focus, where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy is, And if you're not focusing on things that your heart loves and values and what makes your heart smile, we're kind of defeating the purpose of getting all these downloads and upgrades. Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about joy and wonder. I mean, it's always been about joy and wonder and love, right? But even more so now. So where we put our focus, if we put our focus on the government, social media, all sorts of things, there has to be that balance, that in-between state. And as we step into that in-between state, the space between lightness and darkness, the space between feminine and masculine, the yin yang, when we step in that neutral zone, because there is no judgment really on the other side. That's just an earthling thing, an ego thing, egocentric, that we're born with on this planet, or we are conditioned to. So when we step into that in between where we really belong, I mean, everything's possible. It's infinite potential when you go there. Now we're still on the planet. So we've got this to deal with, but it is really a golden age, and we will see things change. I think within our lifetimes.
Yeah, I really think a lot of big, huge changes coming next year. It's gonna look, astrologically, it is, for those of us that are in our heart-centered, soul-centered, and can regroup when we get thrown off that center. Everybody's going to be kind of trying to stabilize in this energy. But as we become, and we are becoming stronger in those higher frequencies, in those higher dimensions, that as these things are kind of thrown our way this year, we are the ones that are holding space for with Mother Earth. I mean, she really doesn't need us, but here we are, and helping elevate that frequency so we can all rise. Because once we rise to a certain, the way I'm showing it is, once we rise to a certain level, that lower vibrational mess can't live in a vibration of unconditional love.
Right.
It just can't.
Right.
So,
even physically, it can't live in it.
Right.
Like if you're in joy and curiosity, your brain can't function on the fear side. It's two different parts of your brain.
So, love it. So that does work. That's how I see it. It's not like, and I don't wish anyone harm, even and there is, well, it was a good point when you were saying about the dark and the light integrating, because we're integrating our divine feminine and our divine masculine. And when we go into the darkness of the winter, that's the womb. That's Mother Earth's womb, where we're planting our seeds and creating, potentially creating what it is we want to go for next, how we want to see life. I don't know if but like, this is my job, right? Keep the vibration high so we can all ascend and live in peace. I'm just like, all right, let's do it, But I know it doesn't happen that fast.
It's a free will planet. So if somebody is not interested and they want to stay where they're at, there is no judgment there.
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and that's fine if that's where they want to be. But if you want to follow your light, fly your flag, I always say, your freak flag of divinity, have fun with it. Um, that's totally your prerogative. And it's just different spaces. Neither is right or wrong.
Right. And
Yeah.
honestly, unless I go into a different space that I'm not normally in, I don't even notice that that's going on.
Yeah.
Unless I take myself there and really go. I like where I'm sitting at most of the time, and it's no judgment, like you said. It's just where I prefer my energy to be. You know.
Right. Right. And it's not like there's not empathy for what people go through,
Oh
for their
goodness.
pain and sorrow, for their fear. I
Mhm.
mean, we just send them love where they're at, and we feel pain for them sometimes, but we feel it with awareness and we're not attached to it, and it makes a difference. I feel like a lot of people in our path have been through a lot of trauma,
Mhm.
quite often, and sometimes they didn't need to be when they came to this lifetime, right?
Mhm.
I For
Yeah.
me, I had to go through the trauma.
Yeah, I did too. Hmm.
So so when these new things pop up, it's kind of like, well, you've already reached that hurdle and moved on from it and healed from it. And or even if you're still on your path of healing, you recognize what it needs. And as these new things come up, you're like, okay, I've been through other things. I know how to handle this. I have a plan.
Right.
I have a safe place, mentally, spiritually, and physically, that you can go to. That's so important right now. I think going through the darkness is really important, because when you're grieving, whether it's trauma, something happened, or maybe you hurt your finger,
Mhm.
taking that time to heal is a huge part of our growth, and and your body itself being physically a little different this time of year, because we're not getting our vitamin D, right? We're not getting the light that comes in. So your
Mhm.
body reacts differently. And so this is a good time. This is an excellent time to
Mhm.
just nurture ourselves and journal, light your candles, um, light your way, they're saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, more meditation,
Yeah.
you
And it
know.
really is. It is a light the way.
Yeah.
This is the way forward. Now, interesting when we're talking about the things that we prefer. Life is going to happen to us in any moment, right? Woke up today. I have something going on that just kind of came out of nowhere yesterday that
Yeah.
I really don't have any control over nor anything to do with it. But
Yeah.
here it is. It's kind of in our is Christmas going to happen on the food of Christmas. Let me put it that way. Christmas is going to happen, and it's like wow, weird how that just came out of nowhere, and it and to me it was like spirit, and I heard my God say it's a choice. Do you want to again play in the dirt, or do you want to be in the light? You can make that choice, but you see how we get those choices are constantly. Uh, Life happens, right? It's weird. It's just like how it just showed up. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to blame it on anybody. It was just a weird thing, and I and I probably talked to a couple people this morning that did have that interesting. Oh, I don't know all of a sudden if I'm going to go this way. They really thought they were yesterday.
Sure.
New information came. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's changing constantly. So, and that's what we do know, right? Is energy is
Mm-hmm.
constantly in motion.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you decide not to make a choice, the choice will be made. So,
Mm-hmm. It's the truth. I mean, it is awesome. I mean, it's awesome, but it can be terrifying too, right? Because
yeah.
I wasn't expecting what I did today, and I was gonna deal with it, and I heard, nope, let it be, let it be. So I'm like, how do I? Because I like to just go and fix things, right? If
Yeah.
I can fix it, or I can have some input in fixing it, and they're like. and just let it be. This is a time for you to go inside. You're having a show about this in a little bit. Go inside and really feel into what it is the best way, because as we go into the new day tomorrow in the new sun, right? Because the old has just is basically we're in a rebirth right now. That old sun of the whole year is transitioning right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, definitely.
and
It
look,
definitely is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy though when you look at it like that. Because I was like, okay, so you want me? And they're like, talk about that. That was important for them to talk about the transitioning of the last year, but even the last we could go back 10 years, really. But each year we level up, and I remember being with Diana New Year's last year, and then we did spring equinox, and how the energies, we were so excited how the energies were coming in. But we've we've integrated all of that. Now here we are going into a new day, a new sun. And what does that mean to you? What does that going forward? Do you want, and but it kind of just threw me off, because I was not like sitting here thinking something weird was going to happen, and there it is, and here I got it, and to deal with it or not, and being guided not to deal with it, that was kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. It's so easy to go into mama bear mode, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I had that yesterday
Mm,
too.
yeah.
Where, knowing that they're divine beings, whether they're your mom or your dad or your grandparents. I love what Lori said.
Yeah.
Um, Honor the wisdom of the times of darkness, honor the balance of both light and dark, be mindful of both. And that's so true, Lori. It's such a great way to put that, because
It's beautiful.
it is honoring both. Darkness is
Hmm.
the hole that the light comes through.
That's
So
right.
it's so important.
And it is important. It is important to. I mean, I know many of us here have had many dark nights of the soul. Had to integrate our shadow, and our shadow isn't bad. It's not bad. It just needed to see that there was light. It didn't know. At least in my case, my shadow didn't know there was light. Back in my first. Go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, you move in and out of that, don't you? And that's a good
Hmm.
transition, because you do need time to acclimate. And um, and it's funny now, because people are just picking up tarot, and they're reading like they were doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
So there'll be people here that started at quite an early age, or people that started a month ago. And, there is no judgment of, there should be no judgment or snobbery in
Mm.
spirituality, right? Or in
Mm.
anything. But really, in particular, people are just awakening now, and they have so many gifts. So
Yes.
it's really a beautiful thing. Hey, Jennifer.
It
Hi,
really is.
friend zone.
I know. We should say. I should say hi to everybody. Hi, Crone Zone, Morella, Teresa, Levine, Morella, Riki, Mary Thornberry, Jay, Jess Ree. That is really nice. That all you beautiful souls. Lori Hunsinger. She always has brilliance just flowing out of her too.
Oh my gosh.
Her
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. The
Uh,
chat is always at, like, just palpitating. It's vibrating with so much energy.
right.
Yeah.
Gina M. Ruby Red Slippers. It's so nice to see you, beautiful. I think we got everybody. It's just a beautiful Jennifer. We said Karen. Hi, Karen. Yeah, Viviani. All this energy coming together. To me, it makes this beautiful energy, high vibrational energy soup, and we just get to just kind of sit here and relax into it. Um, it's nice to spend my days, most of my days, times of my days in different shows with a lot of these people, to just be, you know, to listen to the things that are coming in, 2024. I mean, what's going on? You know, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? Uh, It's a, it is important to go in to let that, all this past year or so, just integrate, to let go what needs to go, and then kind of align. Well, this is, I've been seeing this in a lot of my readings. um, we're being aligned onto our new past and this new energy for this leg of the journey, which to me is pretty cool. I love how they um, bring it all in like that.
I
So
love that. Yeah, leg of the journey. I'm gonna
yeah,
write that down.
and let me say this. I'm gonna, Teri, you do readings. Teri's available for readings, and her information's in the description box
Oh,
in the
thanks.
video.
Thanks.
And a lot of you do readings. If you want to put it in there, put it in there. I do readings. If anyone wants an astrology reading,
Yeah,
the information's in there. We,
yeah.
I
You're
love,
amazing.
I love doing it. Don't you love doing it? Because you're seeing snapshots for people in their moment on how to go forward. I think it's really cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool. I love what Crimson said, bathe in the beautiful high vibes.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Honoring the change of,
yeah,
yeah, it is hard sometimes to mindfully honor the change, and honor the energetic transition.
right.
Um, Stop asking whys and ask the higher realm how. I
How?
love that, Lori. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though it was pitter pattered, that's the
yeah.
way I said it. Got
Everything
my pitter
pitter
patter
patter.
on.
I got squirrel syndrome over here always. Um,
Oh my God. So do
just,
I.
I'm just got to get go with it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there was something about, oh, they were, when you were saying that, when the energies are coming in, it doesn't. It almost seems like I feel it. It's so exciting. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to let it go. I don't want to hold on to it. Like you're in this weird space for a second. Like, okay, how am I just gonna let this integrate into my energetic column of light,
Yeah.
and be with it. A lot of times it does. It gets kind of quite exciting.
It gets really exciting. Yeah.
No, Jessry. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw that. Yeah. Good question,
Oh
Jesri.
no, retrogrades are powerful. It's just that if you have retrogrades in your chart, you receive information a little differently than people who have that planet going direct in their chart. But no, retrogrades always bring us in. It's an opportunity. If the planets don't actually go retrograde but from Earth they seem to go backwards, but they don't really. It's just an illusion. But while that planet is going backwards, because that looks like it from Earth, we retrieve more information. And does that make sense?
Yeah,
In
it
the
does. Like in the retreat, you get more. And then,
right.
yeah. And then yeah, I've heard that described like that before, that you get, or not just like that. I love the way you did it. In that retreat, you get more information, and you have a little more, I want to call it power. You have more,
Yeah.
energy around it because you've been through that. That's nothing new for you.
Hmm.
Like when
And
these instances come up, it's just a return, and it's no big deal. Been there before,
mm-mm,
been there, done that.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, they really help us accelerate, or integrate, accelerate all of it. We just went into Mercury retrograde a couple days ago, and everybody's usually afraid of that one. And don't be, it's really, Mercury is stopping to say, whoa, I didn't understand the information and what I just went by all these planets. Let me go back and make sure I heard correctly. Or
Yeah.
asking them, did I hear you correctly? And that actually is happening today to me. Well, last couple of days, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I can always tell Mercury by my dishwasher. My dishwasher will not work if Mercury's in a retrograde. And
Wow.
yesterday it would not work. And so it was like, it wouldn't work. And I'm like, hey, been here, done that. I know I'll
Mhm.
just take a couple of hours. I can come back and push the buttons and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool though that you know that and that you're good with this. Yeah, I don't. I do feel like most things, inanimate objects, I'm understand them on a spirit level. Some a lot of them. Do you?
Yeah.
Obviously, you do with your dishwasher. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a spirit in everything.
Yeah. It's a conduit, isn't it? I
Mhm.
mean, like a radio, a frequency that comes into it. And it's just a reminder, just
Yeah,
take a minute. You don't have to do that right now. You got time.
I like that. No
Breathe,
hurry. No
relax,
hurry.
watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
In this time of year, we are taught to hurry, hurry, hurry. You're never going to catch up. It's never going to be good enough. And Christmas is going to, I don't know, blow up on you.
Yeah. I kind of realized last night that I hadn't done any shopping.
I did a couple things online, but
That's what I did. And I had a really hard time finding the things that would go to my brother's house, in the right sizes for my nephews
yeah,
and and to get them all coordinated. And it was taking me a few minutes, and then I thought, you know, it's they're going to be fine if they don't get it done. But it worked out. It worked out fine. But then I thought, okay, so what would I do differently for the
yeah.
rest of it? And I found a great way to take care of business and not have to really worry too much about stuff. But
You want to
um,
share?
yeah,
I mean, I'm like, I need a good way to take care of business. Or you're talking about like on the holidays or getting things sent to people and in that way.
a little bit of both. I'm
Okay.
doing a contribution to a monastery in Nepal, and they're going to fly some flags for some friends of mine.
Oh,
So
that's
that I exchange
amazing.
with. Yeah, yeah. So I thought, well, they'll like that because that'll
Yeah.
be, you know,
Who wouldn't like that? Hey,
yeah,
that's
prayers and
yeah.
yeah.
I
So
know. So I see what you're putting more spirit into the time of Christmas, spirit time.
yeah, trying to, and I had to think about because I've got people on my list that would not enjoy that.
Right.
So I had to really be mindful of who won't be offended or who would enjoy it, and and whatnot. But I know that everybody's going to get taken care of. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. I know. I had my mom all done right, and everything was supposed to show up in 2 days, not even.
Yeah,
And then the thing that I wanted to really be there, that was going to be there in 2 days, now isn't coming till after like the 27th, right, of
yeah,
December. I'm like, and it's just, I don't know how to, it is what it is though, because everything is in divine timing. So I look at it like that too, and it's just being in the spirit of the moment of spirit, this is the season of light, of magic, all this beautiful energy. And a lot of us, I used to do this. Now I don't have small kids anymore, so I'm not saying that a lot of us don't do this. Run around like there's no time. It's not going to be perfect. I
oh my
remember
god, yeah,
sitting around crying like things weren't perfect, like when my kids were little.
yeah,
And I was thinking back on that the other day, going, "Wow, what a difference in, well, 30 years makes, right? And you're just like, this used to matter to me. Now I'm like, I just want to feel the spirit. How can I help anyone else enjoy the spirit of this time of year? I don't know.
Yeah. It's it's a lot. Well, and that's part of the different parts of our life, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a time as a child that you're open and you're having fun, and then you're a teen and you're going through all these pain and suffering because
Yeah.
you're learning about everything as far as like karmic ties, or I can't sit at this table, I have to sit at that table, and then a young adult, and then you get in that space where you're either a parent or maybe you're just working a lot, and you're chasing the dream, right?
Hmm.
And then you get into the point of life where a lot of us are now, and some of us are just advanced that are younger, like Jay, but you're at the point where you're like, okay, I can take time, I can be of service to people, I can be of service to myself.
Yeah.
I can kind of relax a little bit more, and just because, not because you don't need the money, that you're not still chasing that sometimes, but you're more at ease
Yeah.
because you've seen so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I was running over to the grocery store yesterday. I was like, okay, finally decided I'm going to get a Christmas tree 3 days before Christmas. And they were out. And I was like, So, okay, so I just bought this little, he's just a little plant and pine, and I got him in plant, and I put some water in him. He was really dried out. So he's my project, right? I'm going to help him grow throughout the year. But I I was almost like, because I was on the fence so much over this Christmas tree that when I showed up and it wasn't there, and I'm like, well, you really shouldn't be surprised. You had a chance to grab it like a couple of times and you didn't. But I don't know. I don't know what is. It's funny when you're running around in spirit showing you different things. Matt, you know how they highlight certain things for you, like this isn't important. This is. I don't know.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it,
they do, and it's the synchronicities, like
yeah.
rock star parking. I always look at it as rock star
Yeah.
parking because, but looking at synchronicities, like if you've got a feeling about maybe somebody calls you right before you're pulling out of the parking lot, and like,
Mhm.
oh, but you take it. And this happened to me last month, and then there's a big accident on the street.
Right.
5-car accident. It's huge.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I would have been right there. So this was a gift. And but all these synchronicities that start happening, and we start recognizing them. We know what they are. And then you get more because
Yeah.
because that energy. And once you know that energy and you're in that wheelhouse, that's in your wheelhouse, then you're like, it's just constantly in motion around you.
Yeah. Things just flows in,
Yeah.
constant. I love how you explain that because I don't know if we stop and um, see that as often as it happens.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where when I notice a synchronicity, I'm thank you, Mother, Father, God. I'm always saying thank you, Mother, Father, God, to all of it because it's just I'm in awe all the time. It's epic. You're in these. Whew, how did this happen? I had like I was saying earlier, a beautiful thing happened to me this week. Then something happened yesterday that kind of wants to take that uh, feeling of beauty away from the thing that did happen. I'm like, wait a minute, that's up to me whether to allow that or not. And why can't I just say thank you and keep going? Instead of looking at it like, oh, well, that just put a monkey wrench into my beautiful thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Because as so much of us are empaths. Well, we're all empaths.
Mhm.
And but when you're aware of that, and then somebody comes up and they're like they look at you with that look in their eyes, and they're just angry people, and there's no reason for them to be angry with you, right? But
Mhm.
it hurts your soul.
Yeah.
And then you have to look at that and think, okay, I'll send them light, but then you look at that again and you're like, well, do I resent sending them light? Should I
Right.
just put up my shields? And
Yeah. Shields up.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, always
Ugh.
loving people with where they're at and not judging them. That's a story, man. That is a lesson.
That
And
is
that's not something that we have to be perfect at.
good because I'm not.
I'm
I'm
not either.
working.
Especially with driving or with but I recognize that about myself now, and I've gotten so much better. Like, used to be, no question, if somebody was doing something, I'd make a one fingered salute to them or something in the car. And now I'm like, wow, okay, well, maybe they're, taking somebody to the doctor, or maybe they're
Yeah.
stressed, or we just don't know what's going on in people's lives.
Yeah.
But
I do that. I do that a lot too. I've just gotten to the point where I don't even want to drive though, especially this time of year. All of it is just anyway. As that blue diamond light stuff was coming in this week, and it was being shown to me to go down. Uh, I don't even know where I heard this. It wasn't me. The 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 name Christmas is based on chrism, the liquid light that is the Kundalini cerebral spinal fluid. Is
yeah,
that true? Uh,
I've never heard of that.
I didn't either.
And I love that. That is amazing. But it is that liquid light, and it is being changed. Like, so I kind of grew up doing Kundalini
Mm,
energy healings, and working a lot with Kundalini, and also working with it through the third eye for seeing, and which is really interesting. But now I'm seeing, and we talked about this before we came on, um, that water, that Kundalini blue diamond light, is
mm,
coming up through our spinal columns, and that's changing everything.
it is
Yeah, yeah,
bringing in, it's upgrading our DNA. And the way they showed it to me, it was like, all that spinal fluid is all in your brain, comes down your spine, but it was coming like focusing right on your third eye,
yep,
hugely.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know how much more we're going to see, how much more we're going to be apart.
It's it's a huge opening, and the
Uh,
other thing that we're seeing and we're talking a lot about now is your heart chakra, your high heart chakra,
mm,
and
mm,
the pink light that comes in with the blue light,
mm,
an angelic light that comes in to soften things, which I think is so very important, because when you're working with Kundalini energy, um, it can be a harsh awakening. Like, don't fear it, but if you're not um, being gradual with it, if you just have that bam, like
mm,
Moses, or
mm.
Eckhart, or Brene Brown, or not Brene, the other one,
Right.
Burn, whatever her name is. Anyway, but they go out in the desert, and then they awaken, and they're walking in and out of people's houses and hugging them and telling them how much they love them, giving them their wedding ring. But it's so being careful and being soft with yourself, and using that high heart energy coming in through the back of the high heart chakra, and just bringing yourself in that beautiful pink light.
Mm. I
Oh,
didn't know
Lori,
that.
yeah,
With Lord JJ and Tuta have been doing energy healings of the spine recently. They told her this week that it's all about the DNA change. Oh my
yeah,
God! I love when there's like connections because
yeah.
I know everybody else is getting this information. I'm not special. It's the thing that what Terry
Everybody.
was saying when those Kundalini awakenings used to be very painful.
Yeah,
I remember a while ago, everybody would focus on white light, white light. Well, that I was told that is the most harshest light, and that's where you get those really rude, harsh awakenings. And that's why I was guided to make it gold light back then. And
Oh, I love
boy,
that.
yeah, there was a huge difference in how things opened up for me between white and gold light. It was huge. So, but the
Yeah.
spinal fluid is, I don't know, I see it's just all the DNA upgrades, like to the crystalline body. Like
Yeah.
more of the crystalline body is coming online.
Yeah. Well, I think planet Earth is either 60 or 70% crystalline energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're made of stardust, this
Yes.
planet, and our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But literally, I mean, scientists have found that. But
Mm-hmm.
entertainment only, though, because I'd have to find the article. But but um, that's why the Earth planet is so of interest to the galactics. I'll
Mm.
go out on my freak flag here, Lim, and because we are so very important, our crystalline, um, not just for mining, but because the power of it.
Mm.
And so as we evolve and move into fifth dimension, um, all the universes evolve. I mean, it changes everything,
Yeah.
and it's a huge awakening.
That I've been getting that too all year. Like this isn't just happening on Mother Earth. This is happening on your galaxy, our Milky Way galaxy, the galaxies. All there's billions of galaxies.
Yeah.
As we level up, we all it just it's almost too big for your brain to understand the concept of everything raising in vibration that high throughout the universe, throughout the multiverse, right? Because it's like wow, what? Okay, so 'cause I don't know. I have a lot of questions, but I love it. I love it. I love the fact that we're a part of it. We can see it. We can feel it. We receive information about it. You know, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
I love what Lori said about 3 times a day during that
Hmm.
heart opening. And that's another thing that I hear a lot is morning, noon, and night, morning, noon, and night,
Oh,
morning, noon, and
nice.
night.
Love
So doing that, doing that heart chakra opening. There have been times when I've had awakenings that I've had to hold on to my bed
yes.
for the day.
Yeah,
And I just,
not going anywhere.
yeah, and then your brain hurts for like 2 weeks,
Mm.
and you're like, I burnt some cells that day. But
and
yeah,
And thank God we can regenerate ourselves. They always told me that you can regenerate, keep regenerating, say it, speak it into existence, say it so, And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
sure. I'm walking around half crazy. Everybody's just looking at me. I don't know if anyone else believes me. I, I am being picked on, and they're
Yeah,
like,
I
no,
didn't leave my room, girl. I was like, I'm not going anywhere because they're going to pick me up.
yeah, no, I don't need anyone to see me like this.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And that's another thing, that fear quota, right?
Uh,
So fearing that when we have these awakenings, and that's the beauty of being in this group, is that everybody
yeah.
knows this is coming. We're like, okay, and we're gradually getting there. Either through whatever you're doing, if it's learning so much in these chats, all these
Mhm.
beautiful people on YouTube and all over the world. And we're learning so much. I mean, it's just a fountain. It's the golden age. And
Really.
there's so much energy coming in, and so many of us are awakening that it's like, um, it's nice. It's not scary. It's like our norm.
Mhm.
And even though we might look like we're flying our freak flag to other people, it really doesn't
Mhm.
matter.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
you don't really care if you're an intuitive anymore,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I really, I don't even think about it until something triggers something in me. Okay, then this is a me issue. As not wanting to go out into the cars, drive around. I don't know what's going on. I know that they're saying I'm clearing it, but I still haven't cleared it. And I don't want to be, when I feel vulnerable, let me put it like that. And I'm in a car with others, right? And that I have to show up and act like I'm brave. I can't. Thank God it was my kids. It was only my kids, but still, they looked at me like this. And this was the day of the X class solar flare. We went out to dinner, and my whole body is shaking. I couldn't even hold the fork, and my kids are looking at me like, "Are you okay? Do we need to take you to the emergency room?" And I was like, I just need to get home. I didn't know that X class flare happened, and I couldn't understand why I was shaking, but I was like, okay, this is why I don't want to go out in public, because of this right here. And I literally had to go back home, and I didn't know until I was in bed that that flare just happened.
Was that Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. That was the
So,
day. That was the day that I knocked myself in the head. Actually, on Monday night with
oh,
the what was it? It was the Instapot lid. I had it up in a high shelf and I pulled it down, and I had put it up, just on top because it was a little bit wet inside and I didn't
mm,
want it to get moldy. So anyway, it hits me, bam, right in
mm,
the nose. My nose is still wide, and the next day, I was so dizzy that Tuesday. That makes
yeah.
so much sense because I was the same. I kept tripping over things.
It was Monday. You're right. It was Monday. It was like early evening time. I don't know what time exactly it happened, but yeah, where it
Yeah.
was powerful. And I can take a lot of energy, after all of us here can, after years of integrating the energies we've integrated for the last 20, 30 years. I never even consider it an issue. And I was freaking out. I'm like, I can't even put this fork to my mouth. And everybody, I'm out in a restaurant, and my kids are looking at me like, what is wrong with you? What are
Yeah.
you doing? and, and I was like, I just need to go into the restroom. I didn't know what else to do except have my food packed up. I couldn't even eat it because I was
Yeah.
shaking so bad. My
I went
whole
to bed
body
that
was
night.
shaking.
Yeah. And, it was really nice. I went to bed that night. My kids made dinner. They took the in squat away from me. And
Oh,
I went to bed and it was like so relaxing. I got some of my fizzy water, with fruit flavored, and watched some vintage shows or something. I don't know. But
that was the night they cooked, right? They were cooking, and you were grabbing the pot down. They were gonna.
and they told me when I did that, let them do it. I'm like,
So
well, you showed me, didn't you?
yeah, let them do it. Yeah, I know where everything is. I can get to it faster, and that I've been being blocked on that too. Oh,
Yeah.
really? Do you?
Good reason, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Here,
Oh,
let's see
Lori
how
did
this
the same thing that day. That's funny. Yeah. No idea it
did.
would be so strong.
Oh, yeah. I thought, I could have looked like I was doing drugs or drinking or something.
Yeah.
I was shaking so bad I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. And so that gives me an indicator, right? I know a few of you had an issue that day. I had an issue at where we know whatever's coming in is really extremely powerful. And as that galactic center, that 27 degree Sagittarius was only 2 days ago. It was build up to that. Oh my God, I just noticed that. It was the build up to that sun coming up to the galactic center. That is powerful energy. And there's
Yeah.
four of those space anomalies that are in the zodiac. Two in, well, it doesn't, I don't know the blue light dates, but those blue light dates, I think, correspond to those anomalies. But I'm going to go check it out later because something huge is coming in. Well, we all know this. We can all feel it. Uh, we're part of it, integrated. But I do think because of the couple of things that have happened is that it is for us to relax into it.
Yeah, I think so too. I've gotten messages for years, like back in the oh, maybe it's the aughts or the yeah, it was the aughts. I got
Mm,
messages that he has been born in the desert.
mm,
And it just kept repeating in my head. And, at the time I was like going to Unity and doing stuff, but I wasn't,
mm,
with groups that I could say, hey, he's been born in the desert. What do you
mm.
think? What does that mean? But
So,
but I feel like we've got so many powerful kids coming in
mm,
that are just going to change the world, and it's going to be a new thing. Like it's not going to be the same old, get the mortgage and the, um, working for the man, big big pharma, big banks, big,
mhm,
you know, Amazon, all these billionaires,
mhm,
and not taking care of people that are houseless or whatever. I mean, it's going to be a different value system.
yeah. And that's coming up. When that Pluto, okay, and this is another interesting thing. We're at Sagittarius 29 degrees right now. Pluto's at 29 Capricorn,
Yeah,
and it's going to go into 0 degree Aquarius on January 20th with the sun and Pluto together going into Aquarius on January 20th. So something about from this time here to that time there, and integrating that and really taking your time on understanding what it is that your spirit teams, your energy centers, and everybody's indicating to you, because this is so personalized. I mean, it's not like it's like a chart. Like I can look at your chart and see what's going on. So these energies are huge, but they do come down into us personally and are significant in some way in our lives. So as we have that going in to the deep womb right now with Mother Earth coming out January 20th with that Aquarius and that Sun. We have eclipses and see that when you were talking about the money and uh, the ridiculousness of billionaires while there's people starving. That's
yeah.
my words. Those are Teri's words.
No, but you said it better.
That, that's all coming to a halt. That's, I mean, it's going to, I don't know if it's going to immediately change, but I see it changing pretty quick. This is ridiculous. I don't even
Yeah,
know why we've even put up with it as long as we have. But the energy is so much higher now that people can really see. Wait a minute, what's going on there? How is this possible? How can this guy have $1 trillion and there's people starving?
yeah. How can they buy a boat for $1 billion, or whatever crazy money that they spend on it?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I just saw that. So Reverend Saul is moving currently, and he gave me this beautiful crystal. It is a magnifier. It's for channeling, and it also has a knife on it for the sword of
Truth.
the sword of truth and Archangel Michael. Anyway, but he's going to be doing. He and BC are going to be down there in Arkansas. They're going to be doing retreats where we can go, and also taking us to the crystal mines for activations.
I want to go.
I know, right?
I want to go. I
Yeah,
had that. I really had Arkansas in my mind, heavy, about 2 or 3 years before COVID.
yeah.
Like to almost move there, it was so heavy. But but I was working. I wasn't paying attention. I knew
Um,
stuff was happening, but blah, blah, how we get thrown off, and COVID happened,
yeah.
and I went, damn, I should
I,
have went to Arkansas.
well, I think we're going to find all these different centers, right,
Yes,
of light, and we're just going to notice that these towns are getting activated.
yes.
Like not only is RBC and Reverend Saul there, they've got one of the largest crystalline cave things in the world there. And also, one of the Waltons, Alice Walton, is building a library for Deepak, and it's going to be an all spiritual library. So there'll be other people there as well. But there's just a lot going on down there. And then, but different areas we're going to see that they're going to, right? That we can all get together in these different areas and have these different communities.
Yeah, because I mean, if one of the Waltons are in on it, that's awesome. I mean, just to even know that she's dedicating a library to Deepak is like, there's a lot, these little tiny things that come through that really change your perspective. Because I was so angry about the inequality of the patriarchal system, probably for lifetimes. I probably died a couple lifetimes being so angry over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've gotten to the point where I'm angry, but I'm not mad anymore because I see it's about to dissipate. It's the word I hear.
Yeah, the more we can release. Yeah. And this is the best time for releasing right now, going into this darkness, and letting go of old things like journaling or however you're going to do it, or writing it down and burning it is huge.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
And it really works. The sooner you burn something, it dissipates it. Again, there's that dissipation. And you write down what it is you want to bring in. And Dinah and I always talk about that on new moons and full moons. And I'll be with her on the 26th. Next Tuesday, we'll be talking about the Cancer full moon. I'll be with Val on Saturday, the 23rd, talking about self-love and acceptance. And I'll be with the Crown Zone on the 24th, talking about the Cancer full moon too. So I just wanted to get that out there. I know you're in a lot of places, Teri. I don't even know how you keep track.
Well, I don't. I have to look at my thing. I know that today I've got a 4:30 with Allie, and a lot of other mediums are going to be there. It's a mediumship thing, but it's kind of a holiday party.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
Tomorrow, JJ is going to be on the channel, and we're going to be talking about JJ and Tuta about the Kundalini awakenings and the high heart awakenings. So that will be interesting, and then lots of other stuff tomorrow. Oracles and what do we do? Oracles and some archetypes.
I love that.
Yeah. Channel too. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could watch everybody's show. I can't. I mean, it's so much, but I love watching any. You with Allie. Allie is. I think Allie was all of our first. Helped us up onto YouTube. So she always comes in with beautiful people and awesome information. And now that I'm not as busy, I can start catching up more.
Yeah.
And integrate this energy, take my time, and but now I'm really afraid to go out. After I was trying to face my fear the other night, I don't know if I made this clear, and that X-class solar flare came in and just I felt like I was just plugged into something. I was shaking so bad. So I don't know. I'm just going to take it slow and easy.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to stay on this planet sometimes.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure it's happening to a bunch of us, all different weird, kind of strange occurrences. I keep calling it high strangeness. But definitely let us know with Reverend Soul when he's going to start doing those tours or
yeah he's going to do retreats, and it'll be activations, EMBC both. And he has moved his he has a little museum in his house. Well, it's not that little, of art, and he's really into Buddhist mantras. That's his thing. And so a lot of the art depicts the mantra, and deities and whatnot. So it'll be amazing. Yeah. Marilla thought it was just her.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
well, this is like the reason. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about the winter solstice today is the energies is so intense. But we can control it. That's what I'm hearing. We take your time. Take this is this is where kind of it's Christmas time, right? And if we go with the commercial side of it and rush, 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 we're going to really mess ourselves up. But if we go inside, and I guess this is what I should have said to begin with, and really just integrate with it, really be with it, be with yourself, and stay away from that rush feel that so easy to get wrapped up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why we all have shows all the time. Try to stay up, but I mean, it catches me in a moment off guard, as it does you, Teri. I know it. And it's just
Yeah.
that's the whole thing I'm trying to say about this new year. There's this new energy, and it is very high vibrational.
Yeah, it's
And
fun.
yeah,
It's
it
gonna be a
is.
blast, you guys. It's gonna be so much fun.
Well, Teri, thank you for coming on with me. I'll just keep talking and talking. We love you all so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
you. Have a magical holiday. You are the magic.
I
Remember
love
that.
that.
I love you all. Thank you, Teri.
Thank you. This was lovely. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.